to start against LSU. LSU, though, had a ton of quarantines, and those guys are going to get back early this week, probably Monday or Tuesday, so a day or two after I've been recording this. Quarterback Miles Brennan, though, is out with a partially torn abdominal muscle, and this team hasn't played in 3 weeks, so they're relatively healthy outside of those guys being quarantined, and then starting quarterback Miles Brennan, which is a big loss for that LSU team. The FPI in Vegas actually disagree on this game. ESPN's FPI gives Arkansas a 31% chance to win this game, and it really hasn't changed much. I guess that goes to LSU's run at the national championship in history. I guess the last few years, I'm not really sure on the whole formula there, but Vegas currently has Arkansas -1. It opened at Arkansas -3, and then it actually moved to LSU -1, and then moved back to Arkansas -1. So it's moving a ton, but I would expect it to stay on this Arkansas -1 range. And the crazy storyline is last year's game against LSU and Arkansas, the line was Arkansas +42, and they actually ended up covering in that matchup, and the line has already moved to Arkansas -1, Arkansas -2, Arkansas -3. And if nothing else, this shows you the amount of work that Sam Pittman and his whole Razorback team have done to totally flip around the directive inside of this program and show you how much better things have gotten since Chad Morris was fired from Arkansas. And you take a look at it, and sure, LSU regressed, but I wasn't expecting to win this game even if LSU wasn't playing this good. I mean, LSU's a tough game as they bring in continually 5-star recruits and some of the best guys in the nation. Arkansas loses recruits to them a ton. This is a team that performs top of the line, gets guys in the NFL every single year. So to have the line move 30 points in 1 year is the largest documented in the entirety of the FBS in 1 year, which is crazy to think about and shows you the amount of work this program has done and how things have turned around for Razorbacks. But the over-under is 65.5 for this matchup. Now, obviously, this is the game known as the battle for the Golden Boot between LSU and Arkansas, but things haven't gone Arkansas's way all the time. Arkansas has 22 wins, 41 losses, and 2 ties. LSU won the last 4 games pretty easily, though, as they made a really good run at a national championship last year. So you expect, teams to win like that. But big upsets from Arkansas in 2014 and 2015 when head coach Sam Pittman was in this program as an offensive line coach. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, but it's been dominated by LSU recently. And just to show you how bad this series has been the last few years, Coach O last year said that no one's celebrating beating Arkansas because they haven't beat anybody recently. And, well, that may seem kind of harsh. It was the truth at the time. I obviously didn't have that podcast back then, but I wouldn't have been upset about that because it's been the truth. Arkansas hasn't beat anybody in a long time at the time, and that just went to a testament of how bad Chad Morris was and ultimately why he was fired after that loss to Western Kentucky. I'm glad to finally see a competitive rivalry, whether Arkansas or LSU wins. To have this game be one where one team is favored by a point or another and it changes each day is so great because I'd obviously rather watch a rivalry game where it could go either way instead of watching a rivalry game where one team is just going to get absolutely blown out.
It's time for Sam's prediction. Sam's prediction.
Is the Arkansas Razorbacks are going to win by 4. I think Briles and Franks torches Bo Pelini's defense. Franks is going to probably throw for 300 yards plus, I think. And it's just going to be easy because Bo Pelini's defense, I don't think, is prepared for this game. They haven't been prepared for anything so far. But I think on the other side of the ball, I think LSU is going to hammer the run game, and we're going to struggle a little bit on that. It's going to kind of bring a little bit of anxiety to Razorback fans. I think the defense has a rebound after that Florida game. Odom's going to be in the booth. I'm not sure how big of an impact that has, as no one really knows unless you're inside the program, to be honest. But I think it's going to be easier for him as that's where he's been coaching the last few games. It seems like that's where our best defensive performance have been from. And you look at Odom's time as a head coach, and the defense wasn't really too well when he was on the field. I'm hoping the defense doesn't let down. I feel like TJ Finley won't perform that well, but the rushing defense kind of worries me a little bit. But I think Briles and Franks, Smith, and all of those guys are going to tear up this LSU defense and score 5 touchdowns, putting it at Arkansas, winning 35-31. I just think LSU is going to be able to run a ton, and then they're going to be able to pass a little bit because they're going to disguise us. So I think we'll see LSU score 4 touchdowns, but we're going to stop at some point and they'll kick a field goal. So I'm going to take Arkansas by 4, but I think Arkansas has the possibility to win this by multiple points if the team can just stop the run, really don't allow Finley to do anything, and just keep up that offensive consistency we've been seeing these last few games. But on Monday, there will be a recap of this game as normal. It's always out here at All Hog Sports, but then we're also going to be covering basketball. It's the first basketball game is next Wednesday, so we're going to get a preview for that matchup, a preview for the season, a preview for all those fall sports, including women's basketball, who is number 14 in the preseason AP Top 25. If you like what you're hearing, make sure to drop a 5-star review, please. And as always, don't forget, Woo Pig! Let's go get that boot!
That's all for today's episode of All Hog Sports with Sam Stimson. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode covering all Arkansas Razorback sports. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on social media too. On Twitter and Instagram at All Hog Sports Pod. Like on Facebook at All Hog Sports and Arkansas Razorbacks Podcast. And on YouTube at that same name. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Go Hogs!